Welcome back to our Global iTech Solution GITS-Playwright channel on lecture 6. Before you started this lecture, I highly encourage you to complete previous lecture related with this course. Let's get started and jump on the topics. So today we'll be discussing about developed a test case using codegen, discussing playwright locators, and modify the locators use CSS in the test cases. So this is our previous project, as you already following it, and we'll go in a test case. Inside the test there will be a playwright spec test. As I said, we'll be creating a test case using the codegen. Let's open up our terminal and go ahead, open up with the codegen. So codegen, we already added the script for the codegen inside the package.json file inside the script tag. So this is test, this is debug, headed, report row, and we don't have the codegen. So let's add the codegens from the readme.md file. Inside the readme.md file, there is a codegen script. That script will be made inside the package.json file as a variable. So let's say test codegen, then we'll be adding the script here. npx playwright codegen. Now we'll be running this script over here in the terminal or cmd command prompt in your Windows machine. So npm run test codegen. It should be open up with the recorder and inspector. So we'll be using a website which is the Internet Heroku app for our automation purpose. Copy it and paste, hit enter. Then we'll be just clicking on form authentications. So form authentication, click on form authentications. We'll be using our username and password. Then click on login button. That's all for this test case. Close this browser. You see that if you close the browser, the codegen recorder will be gone. So don't close the browser. So let's do it again. One more time. Codegen. We opened up with the inspector locator. Then we'll be copy and pasting our domain. Hit enter. We'll be clicking on the form authentications. We'll be entering our username. We'll be entering our password. Then click on login form. Now go back to the playwright locator inspector. Copy that code. Then close it. Now come back to your test case. Close everything. So we're not going to be delete this test case. We'll be creating a new test case called form authentication path.spec.js. In this test case, we'll just copy and paste as I copied earlier. Then we'll be paste over here the code. The same coding structure from the previous test cases as you see over here. Now, in this test case, the first one, develop test case using codegen, this is done. The discussing playwright locators. Now, as you see, by default, codegen will pick up the locators, get by role, get by labels, and get by roles. Only two of them. But if I typed over here, await paste dot, you should be able to see all of the locators, right? But you're not able to see it at this moment. Let's go back to the previous test case. type page dot, it's not coming here. That's fine. So because this is the editor, this is not a as a compiled ID, right? So we can go back to the Playwright website, and if I type Playwright locator, then it will taking me to the locators, all the locators here, right? So on this locator page, you will be seeing all the locator they are using it. So this is basically a like straightforward locators, as a locator called locator keyword, right? You see the locator keyword, but this is not giving us the all the locators will be using it. But you can see over here page dot get by role. Also, this one is a get by role locator. So most of them are using over here as a locator as a keyword, right? Get by role, a very basic. But if I going back again and type over here playwright locators or playwright selectors, right? So if you click on the playwright selectors, it's supposed to be giving you all the selectors which is available in the playwrights. Now if I scrolling down, set test ID, timeout, attributes, selectors. Selector can be used to install custom selector engine. Okay, so also we're not able to see all the selectors over here. How strange, right? Okay, we can go back, playwright locators. There is a many different website they can take you, but I want to stay with the locators in the playwrights. There you go. So once you clicked on the search for locators, you will be able to find the locators. Page.get by role, get by text, get by labels, get by placeholder, get by alter text, get by titles, get by test ID. Now those are the locators it's available for the like the picking up the locator from the UI. So this is as you know, this is the UI automation. So we can use all of them. Also on the top of it, we're not going to be using any one of them. In our test script, we'll be using a straightforward locator keyword, page.locator. So let's go ahead and see how to use it. Now part of the lectures, the modified the locator use CSS in the test classes. Now this is our domain as we are navigating to the URL. The second one, which is we're clicking on the form authentications. Clicking on the form authentications. We'll be copying this await. So await is just a asynchronous method. Await came from the asynchronous functions. Asynchronous, there is a two type of functions, which is a synchronous and asynchronous. So we are using in Playwright asynchronous. We'll see some differences on the synchronous or asynchronous in a different lecture, but today we'll be just stick with changing the locators. Await page.locator locator. Then we'll be using over here the locator, which is a CSS locator. Then dot click. So let's get the CSS locator from the internet website. So form authentications, right click over here, inspect. There is a many way you can get the CSS locator. Right click on that, copy CSS selector and Control F and paste it over here. You can see it. Or you can use a plugin called a Renorex Solicity. It will automatically giving you a CSS. You can just copy it and you can paste it on the Finder. The same thing, one of one. You have to make sure it is one of one. Okay. Now we'll be using over here in the script. So this is the list nth of type 21, then a tag. So we'll be removing that. Also, if you're going back with the Chrome browser internet website, you can remove the greater than sign. Also, it will be one of one. Just making sure it's simple and optimized. Now this is this should be working, up and running, right? Let's go ahead and run. Let's see it is running or not. How do we run? npm run test, then our in order to running a single test, form auth dot spec.js. It should be running a single test. Okay, so it's giving you an error for line number 13, which is we don't need them, is the extra line over here. Okay, let's do it again one more time. This is headless mode. It is working on the headless mode at this moment. So past all of them, past, and open up a report as we set up the report earlier automatically. So now that's when this locator is working. The second one is a username, right? Let's go back and get the username. Click on it. And this one, our username. And get the CSS for it. So we'll be using the same thing. Await page.locator. And we'll be using CSS. CSS dot fill. So in Playwright it's called a fill. Fill will be using the same, the right username, which is Tom Smith. Tom Smith. So we don't need Tom Smith. We don't need the click in the like in order to entering it. So we'll be using the password as well, right? We'll be using the password locator, then password, so which is import # password dot fill, password which is wrong password, and click, then again another click. Await page.locator, and we'll be using click, using the CSS. So this is our CSS locator. Paste him and dot click. So we'll be using locator, page.locator. There you go, page.locator. So we are using over here on the form authentication, click, then the username fill, password fill, click on login button. Let's run this one. Let's see it is working or not. So it is up and running. So thank you so much for watching this lecture. Stay tuned for upcoming lecture for rest of the course. Thank you.